everyone, and welcome back. And today we're going to be doing something really fun and really interesting because I may not have been excited as I was in a very long time seeing one of Legend VD's videos, because I forgot the Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle, one of my favorite cards of all time, in combination with Scapeshift, is legal on Arena thanks to Avatar: The Last Airbender and the special guest kind of screenshot grabs. But if you do not know how this combo works, Valakut the Molten Pinnacle says this land enters tapped whenever a mountain you control enters. If you control at least 5 other mountains, you may have this land deal 3 damage to any target. The way that's worded, at least from locals where people have had confusion with it, you basically have to have 5 mountains and Valakut in place, so that's 6 lands. And then when your 7th land enters the battlefield, if it is a mountain, Valakut will then trigger for the first time of the game and deal 3 damage to any target. And you can choose to do it or not. It's up to you. You do have to target, but you don't actually have to do the damage, which can sometimes matter. But we can cheat with this using Dryad of the Elysian Grove. And what Dryad does is it basically makes Volcano of Roku's Island, or Valakut the Molten Pinnacle. It makes this count as a mountain because, as you can see, the land type, it doesn't actually count as a mountain. But with Dryad, we can now make it count as a mountain. So then we only need 6 lands, and then every land we play there just automatically does damage. So a card like Prismatic Vista that isn't a kind of land type at all and goes fetches a basic for you will actually enter as a mountain, triggering your Valakut. You can do some damage and then fetch and do that. It also makes cards like Primeval Titan. Commander players, unfortunately, do not know what this card does because they're not allowed to play with it. But this card enters the battlefield, goes and grabs 2 lands of any lands whatsoever, oftentimes grabbing a Valakut, maybe a mountain to turn it on, or maybe 2 Valakuts, depending if we have a Dryad, where we can then use an Arena of Glory to give Primeval Titan haste and attacking with it right away. Other than that, in the Gruul variation he was playing, I basically just mimicked the list because I don't know much about the historic format myself, so it's kind of cool to get in and play one of the decks I enjoy and seen it do well for his video. He said 4 Soul Guide Lanterns because you need Graveyard Hate, so I'm just trusting him fully on that and playing the 4 Soul Guide Lanterns. I did have somebody concede almost instantly when playing one, so apparently he's correct. And then we have Farseek in here that came from Final Fantasy, so that's pretty awesome. Gets basically any land other than a forest out of our deck, so we can't grab this one land or the Castle Garenbriggs or the Vistas. But then we have other ramp accelerants. And then in the outro, I talk about a couple of things. That's what the big sideboard is for, where I talked about maybe playing Teamer and adding a couple of cards in. And then the fact that I didn't know this card was legal when I was making this list. Seems like a good card that we might be jamming into here, but I don't know the format well enough to be making a lot of changes. So with that, we're going to go try playing Historic for the first time. I just don't want to play against spells, watch my opponent play for a very long time right now, so I just wanted to take a small break and try out another format. So with that said, let's dive in and play. Yes, I guess. Got a lot of like ramp and stuff to do, so I don't know what that is. Just ninjas, maybe? Attacks a random whenever this creature attacks, a random land card in your library perpetually gains. Okay. Just had to read, bro. It was tough. It was tough for me. Probably could have went for a Farseek to get a Surveil land, but sure. Wondering more and more if like blue should be a color I'm playing. But Fable Pass is just kind of whatever. Farseek. Can't really get anything right now that I have to worry about. Oh, I should have done it the opposite way. I mean, it's whatever, I guess. Oh, I'm a little rusty on this format, that's for sure. Whenever. Okay. Sure. Ramland in your library pressure gains become a basic island in addition to its other types. When this land enters, draw a card. We did it. I guess it's got to be a non-basic, so they don't get to choose, I suppose. Okay. Fair enough. Actually, do I even want to grab a Valakut here? We're trying to resolve Scape Shift, right? Well, I guess with that rip, maybe I did want to, so I could play a Dryad. But we'll see. The mono blue deck shouldn't allow Scape Shift to resolve, so maybe I was supposed to grab it and just go the mountain route that way. As a person who's played Scape Shift a ton, I don't know what I'm doing. But I will try to attack with my Primeval Titan before I do anything. So that maybe they have to answer it. I'm also like really intrigued in what my opponent's doing. I have no idea. I bet. Probably a Fatal Push coming here. I guess. But again, I don't know what's in this format. Okay, other than playing horribly, I guess I won. Nice. Luxury of playing a Gruul deck. Keep here, and I guess right now a land can go. Here. Just hold it and use it if we need it. I see black, so persist is something I can think of. Okay, cool. I don't know if that means that's what it was, but we'll take the win for playing turn 1 Soul Guide Lantern, I guess. Nice. Okay, well, Lurrus means playing Soul Guide Lantern's good, right? I think this one's good, right? Against the Lurrus deck. While I'm out here trying to do my thing. Sure. So, I kind of want to ramp. Do I care if they draw an extra card? I don't think so right now, anyway. I think I want to ramp. They can draw. That's fine. I don't know enough about this format to really defend like that. You know what I mean? Like, maybe this is a horrible play, and they... Like, I know auras exist, but... I'm going to be able to Burst Lightning here. I don't know.
To the hunt.
So it's energy. We just have to get there. We go land. We go Burst Lightning. We go here. Resolve. Auto pay 1. Pop that. Then we go here, and we just really have to hope to hit a land. We play 28. The odds are great. Or the odds are pretty great. But Johnny's going to do some work. I have played Modern before. So, that's weird. I've not seen this, like in the corner. Oh, dude, Amp Raptor's a card that's legal here? We didn't learn from Modern? Other than runes give protection. It's not going to have haste, so it's kind of whatever. Probably looking to draw off this. Here. We have another Soul Guide Lantern, so it's fine. I want to do that before I deck then. Another mountain. Then Soul Guide Lantern. We will probably crack this to draw another card, and then we're probably going to play Primeval Titan, grab 2 Valakuts if we rip a mountain. Sure. Quite a bit of damage. Other runes being tapped is a little crazy, but sure. They do know they're... Oh, so... I dead? Sacrifice, flip, make a creature, hit me for 4. I'm dead. I know I'm short by 1. It's short by 1. If I remember right. Did they miss out on that? No, because they make 1 more creature, right? Well, then it only does 3 damage, not 4. Yeah. So I have to figure out how to win here. I have no idea. 4. So I go to... I mean, I could always rip Escape Shift. Ooh. Here. I know this seems crazy when they have it on the board, but they can just sack in response, so it doesn't matter. Escape shift. Here. Take the action. Valakut. So mountain is 612. One is only 9. So yeah. We'll see how many triggers go in a stack. So I get 4, right? So that's 3, 6, 12. 3, 6, 12. And Primeval Titan. That should be lethal, right? I think so. What a draw. I forgot Arena of Glory would also be lethal. I would like for it to do the damage, yeah. I would like for it to do the damage. Mm-hmm. Yep. Because Primeval Titan notoriously has trample. And we get there. They were 1 short of lethal. And we get there. Again, has trample, so. And we get them by 1 as they were 1 short from lethal, dude. That's a wild game. That's pretty sick. But we'll take that. God, I love escape shift. Not like super pumped about double lantern, but I do feel like having the option to just like sack them and draw cards is okay. And if they're good in this match, then great. Do I really want to deck thin? I kind of do. Like, I don't, but I do, right? I would like to go grab my 1 basic forest, play the Soul Guide Lantern. Could matter. From my understanding, it does. So, based on the video I watched from Ellis Legends VD, that this matters. It seems to matter a lot. Utopia Sprawl, sure. This has to be... Sure. Okay, to be fair, seeing that makes me incredibly happy, because then I know, like... No, it really matters. So, let's far seek here. Commercial District. Looking for a land here, or just a good card. Yeah, so Dryad can go. Obviously, we're not really going to pop this unless it's to draw a card. If we rip another land, it is as easy as just, like, play Dryad. Yeah, like Sowing Microspawn. At the beginning of combat on return, target you gaze hands next for X number of Eldrazi. Yeah, sure. Here. Get in here, brother. Yep. Double Burst Lightning, not the most exciting, that's for sure. Let's draw here. Go here. The pause is Tormod's crit, by the way, if you're curious. Escape shift can actually win the game if our Dryad doesn't die, which is weird. I know it seems a little bit whack, but with that many Valakuts in our deck, we can just win. But I doubt it lives. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Like, we're kicking this. They're just gonna have 3 colorless mana. This, I mean, if they have lethal, I guess they have lethal. I just don't know what to play around. We have to get rid of that, right? But now they have, what, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana? 9, 10, maybe? 9? Rumble. That's 6. If trigger abilities, that's in Sowing Microspawn's good. You can exile my Valakut, I guess. Sure, dude. All right, keep trying. First lightning barely missing this is crazy. Man, I want to play my soul guide lantern. Kind of ran them out of stuff a bit. What? 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, 6, 7, 8. We ran them out of nothing. Basically. That one hit for 7 off this was really huge. That whole turn worked out so well for them. We'll see what we draw here. Yeah, because we were still on, like, I don't know. I have burst. No, I don't. We might be cooked. Yeah, I only have enough lands to do this. So, we're dead. It is what it is. That's kind of almost why I want to play blue-green, because I think with Gruul, I hate the top deck mode so much in this deck sometimes. Do I have time to surveil land? I hope so. I'm on to play. If I can't surveil land on turn 1 in this format, I don't know if it's for me, bro. You know what I mean? But I did play one game before to try to like learn the format, and my opponent played a burgeoning. Is that somewhere we should be? Almost feels like it, right? I mean, with Dryad, Valakut on the top, it's just good, right? Sentinel, sure. We're going to be fully ignoring that card for a minute here. Fine with me. One of Forest is already in, so... Yeah. Like hammerish time. Time-ish hammer. Okay, well, that's pretty good. I don't care if they draw a card here. Considering if... It's the weird thing of if they don't answer Dryad, which they definitely could. If they don't answer Dryad, there's a chance that we sack this to draw a card and we can just win off our scape shift. However, we're also just 2 lands away from winning. 1 land, sorta. If we rip a land, we can just win. No, we can't because they're at 20. Got a spear, sure. Metallic Rebuke's another card that I would think of. In a spot like this, it could be a bit tough. Oh, my turn, I guess. Draw. We'll see what happens if this Valakut resolves, right? Because this could be a blue, right? Yeah. So I don't even think here I go for escape shift. I think I go for this. Yeah, so there's Metallic Rebuke. Sure. Pause. Everybody freeze. But now, even if they answer my Dryad, we just get to play land, do escape shifts, and potentially win here. No blue that I can see. This is a vibe check, Valakut. I know I should just play escape shift, but a Metallic Rebuke, I think. This is also not knowing. Counter target spell unless controller pays 3. That gives me 3 here. And I can kind of resolve this the cool way. Yeah. Dope. Dope. I just wanted to make sure I had everything covered. It's just a problem. I don't know the format well enough to like be like, oh, there's no way they have anything here. So I just get to like barrel it at the beginning of that turn and just be like, here, bro, I have it. But if I don't, like, I'm just gonna keep playing it as though I'm gonna play it how I need to play it. Yeah, right. Like ramp, Arena of Glory for the Primeval Titan seems good. And go and do Commercial District so we don't thin out too much. And then also this comes in untapped because we'll have a mountain, right? So green, white. Based on what I've been told, that could be yours. I don't know if I need this with 2 ramp spells in my hand. I think, honestly, at this point, just grab it like drawing lands is better. I'll take a card from me. Do I have to answer that this turn? Does anybody know? Can anybody tell me? Is that a card I must answer? Tapped regardless. I mean, if there's a turn 3 lethal, then they got me. I don't know. From their side. I feel like there's just some, maybe vetoes in there. Diana, when you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. Sure. So now it's land, dryad, stomping ground, hold up, burst lightning. Land, yeah, dryad. Stomping ground, tapped, pass. So whenever you gain life, each opponent loses life. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses life. Sure. I literally don't know. I could be dead right here. I have no idea. Because I did damage. Could be, again, maybe there's a fatal push in this format. I really don't know. I am going to attempt to burst lightning this because I do have, like, play Vista, crack it, play Primeval Titan, go get 2 lands. But... and also Primeval Titan attacks with haste, so it's just like, what do you do about it? Here. Sure. Here. So cool thing with Vista is we don't actually have to sack it here. Valakut. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, I would like to do damage with all these. We're gonna have the biggest spam bar of all time. And then, just like that, we're going to go back in here, and I'm going to grab Valakut, thanks to Avatar. And I'm going to shoot my opponent for 1,000,000. That's going to do it. Very cool. I'm so excited that Valakut's put on Arena. It gives me a reason to play Historic, that's for sure. So with that, we move on. I do think I remember Is It Wizards, to be honest. Yeah, dude, sick. So no damage here, which is nice, obviously. Practice for a green. Then we play... we want this because we want to grab our Surveil land. I could just be getting smoked here, obviously. Sure. Although I just... actually... we'll be able to answer one of these guys. I'll cast an opt or something. Consider. Okay. So we'll be able to answer this stuff slowly. Weirdly enough, Dreadhorde Arcanist, as strong as he is, I think I have to answer Symmetry Sage, but I don't know. If you aren't starting player, you may cast a spell as though it had flash, deals 3 damage, start creature, planeswalker. Sure. Yeah, we definitely have to answer this, right? Like, this is just a card that does everything for them. Yeah, so it's what? It's play Dryad, play Arena, play Prismatic, play Rampant, grab a Mountain, Valakut trigger, pop this. And then next turn, where they're going to, like, most likely try to answer our Dryad, we play second Dryad, we play another Valakut, double trigger, shoot both, and then we ramp, and then maybe shoot them twice. Although, am I dead? Dryad's definitely going to have to block. This is a really good play. Well, now I don't even know. As long as I'm not dead, I feel fine. Only one triggered. So 3, 6, 7. Ooh, 6, 7. Leave me alone, dude. So here's the difference. Do we actually have them dead here? So if I play Valakut, there's 2 Valakut triggers. So that's 6. If I crack this land, that's 12. If I then search, that's 18. I guess if my Dryad hits them... 2. Alright, we're gonna have to remove their whole board, I guess. I'm pretty positive. Valakut is 6. 12, 18. So I'm short by 2. Brutal. I guess I can do it this way and just do like a red play here. Exile that. Yeah, sure. Draw a card. If I hit a land, they die, I suppose. I can still do this, right? I can play this, crack, and do everything. Sure. Sure. Yeah. Okay, now I believe they lose the game. So, 6, 12. Yes. Sweet. Yep. Here. 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 Remember, the colors don't matter because we have a Dryad in play. And we get it. Weird way to do it, but we actually end up getting it. Very cool. I am so excited to escape shifts on this client. I have a couple of cards I want to kind of talk about, and maybe someone who knows the format a bit better than me can tell me why they're bad, but we'll go look here. Okay, so here we are, and there's a couple of things I want to talk about because I don't know enough about this format to have like the best opinion of all time. But can I put plain? Is it planar Genesis? Yeah. So this is a card that in my head I feel like I should be playing in this format, and it just seems like a good card to just have in my deck. I feel like this one is much better than like these two, or maybe just better than one of these. Like, they're both good. It's not that they're bad. It's not better than Farseek because Farseek can grab our Surveil land. But I think with like adding a small amount of blue, I don't know if it's that big of a deal. I know we don't have like pure fetch lands. At least I don't think we do in this format. Regardless, in escape shifts, you don't want to play that many anyway. But this feels like a card that I should be playing because sometimes when we have the mountain set up and we're at 7, right, we can actually cast this and maybe even find the escape shift that can win us a game in a spot that we couldn't. Other than that, my very first game that I wasn't recording, are we not supposed to be playing this? Whenever an opponent plays a land, you may play a land from your hand on the battlefield. And I understand that, like, we will run out of lands. But would this not is this like, I don't know. It's so weird. Is this not like a better option sometimes than like these, right? Especially if we start playing blue, because then we can like put cards in our hand. Like a card like Stock Up's a really good card in those spots. So what actually happened to me, and this is why I'm bringing this up, my opponent basically was on to play. They played a Burgeoning. I actually had a Prismatic Vista that I did not play because I was like, that seems bad. If I play Prismatic Vista, crack it, they're going to have 2 lands go to 4 on turn. Their literal turn 2, they're starting with 4 mana, right? However, for me, what I was thinking about and how I've played Scapeshift in the past is play something like Burgeoning here. And say they play 1 land, you get to put 1 in your hand. You start with a 3-lander, right? And you have a Burgeoning. So you land, they play land, so you play 1, of course. You play your 3rd one, then you like stock up, right? And then you just grab more lands. Like turn 2 stock upping seems very strong. You're able to do that in Modern, so I don't know why you couldn't do it here, even against what, like the Eldrazi decks and stuff. I did have like a lot of nerves. Nerves is like the wrong word, but maybe worry that I was just going to keep dying out of nowhere. Because I'm used to like every time I click another format, it's either Vintage Cube or Timeless, I think, because we're in Historic, I believe, right? Yeah, Historic. So Timeless is like a format where I just explode and like get griefed and unearthed and everything like that. I don't even think those cards are legal, right? If I type in Endurance, are those legal? No, they're not. Because if Endurance isn't legal, then none of the rest are legal, because Endurance is probably the most fair in my opinion. But Sage U also seems like a weird one not to play as like maybe a one of in here, just because it is kind of a bullet answer to some stuff. We always kind of played it Modern, but what kind of card? The other thing is I don't know what alchemy cards we have. We're not playing Grazer, which again I would play Burgeoning over Grazer, because then, you know, you're kind of guaranteed to get a land, right? That way, maybe to be stronger, I don't know, but unsure. So if anybody has any advice, like Growth Spiral back there is not being played. This is my Growth Spiral, by the way. Like, this isn't being played. Draw 1, put a land from our hand onto the battlefield, instant speed. So I don't know. I just don't know enough about the format. So if anybody has any advice, I would love to know what the advice is. Nice. But it will not be playing this card though. That card has a special hate in my heart, bro. That is so annoying. I love Risen Reef though. What else is in here? I don't know. Really don't. Big Snake. Flash when this creature enters, counter target spell. Cool. But yeah, that's where I was at. I copied Legends version of the deck. I did change some of the lands. I put one more basic mountain in and took out 1 arena, because I just felt like having the mountains matters. And if I switch to Simic, if I switch to Teamer, we're not really going to be able to have arena. I guess, is Counterspell legal? Counterspell's legal? I'm so in, dude. I'm so in. I'm going to play my Modern deck in this format. That's sick. But with that said, I hope you all enjoyed the video, actually. I don't play Timeless very often, and I love Scapeshift Valakut more than any deck I've ever played. It's been my #1 deck that I've played. Anybody at my locals will know. If I put a Valakut into play, they go, you just couldn't not play it this weekend, right? And I was like, yeah, it's just a joy. I know it's not the best deck in the world, but it's a deck I enjoy to play, and in my casual events, I'm going to play it. Sometimes even in competitive events, because I don't care. But with that said, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.